Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello, everyone. Happy Hump Day. We've made it to Wednesday already. The week is going by fast. Almost Christmas time. Question of the day, not holiday related today, actually politics. So we want to know, after yesterday's announcement by Premier Rachel Notley about building a new refinery, what do you think of this plan? It definitely has a lot of people weighing in, and then there's a rally booked for this weekend here in the border city. So definitely a big topic.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes from that rally. It's definitely our top story today on the cast. So yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see the comments roll in on that one.
Yeah, definitely. You still have time to weigh in on that, but first we're gonna go check in with our Brett Holden, who's down in Bonnyville getting some hockey action.
I'm here at the World Junior A Challenge here in Bonnyville, where unfortunately Team Canada East just suffered a 7-3 loss to Team USA. Team Canada West will face the Russians once again here in Bonnyville, where they are hoping to take the momentum that they gained against the Team Canada East. Big win for them as well. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here in Bonnyville at the World Junior A Championship, but let's head back into the studio where Elise has a look at your local news.
After a cat in southern Alberta was put down when it contracted rabies, local veterinarians are reminding people the importance of vaccinating your pets. Our Brett Holden has more.
Rabies is a virus that can be transmitted through saliva and is almost always fatal. And one local veterinarian says vaccines are the cheapest insurance policy.
So in those diseases, the only one that has risk of transferring to people is rabies. And that's why it's of utmost importance that we do keep our pets vaccinated for rabies. And rabies, if you catch it early, there's the post-bite exposure vaccines that you can be given. But once a person is actually infected with rabies, there is no cure.
The cat in southern Alberta was discovered to have rabies after it bit its owner and had to be put down. Dr. Newman says that there are many ways for pets to contract rabies, whether it be an indoor or outdoor animal.
But we know that indoor pets are still at risk as well. And so, we just like to remind people that even if your cat is just indoors, rabies is still a concern in that pet as well. And just recently, I had a client from Lloydminster here come in and tell me that they had a bat in their apartment.
The cat in southern Alberta did get rabies from a bat, but in the Midwest region, other animals like skunks and raccoons can carry the virus.
And we have classically said that probably the main animal carrying rabies in our area would be skunks. And so if you have skunks on your property, living under old buildings, anything like that, of course, getting rid of that skunk population would probably be a good first step.
Brett Holden, Primetime Local News.
Students interested in drama at Lloyd Comp High School are getting a new opportunity.
This is a life of illusion, wrapped up in trouble.
In the past, being part of the school's production was an after-school program students did on their own time. Now they can take it as a class.
We adopted a new curriculum, musical theater 10-20-30, and incorporated it right into the actual day of the students. So we have grades 10s, 11s, and 12s all kind of working together on in one class, earning a credit for their work and their participation in the musical.
The interest from the students has been big, as it allows kids who would normally have to turn down the opportunity because of it being after school to now be able to participate.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're able to be more engaged in what we're doing, and we have more time to go over our lines and our dances and our vocals as well. So it just kind of gives us more time to practice and know everything.
This year they are performing the musical Grease. Tickets for the Friday and Saturday show are sold out already, but limited amount are available for their Sunday, January 13th matinee.
And now we're going to send it back to Brett Holden, who is live from Bonnyville.
I'm joined now by Pat Bosch, one of the coaches for Team Canada East. Now, Coach, a tough loss here for your team. Can you just kind of talk about the game that you guys had and a little bit moving forward as well?
Well, honestly, I thought we played a good game 5-on-5. I think we struggled in the PK. Maybe we spent too much time on the box, or maybe we shouldn't have been on the box, but at the end of the day, we just gave up a lot of goals on the PK. That shouldn't happen.
That kind of leads into my next question. Near the end of the game, there was a little bit of chippiness. What's kind of the message that you have for your team going into the games against the Czechs on Friday?
Well, there was a lot of tensions. The players are not happy. They want to win games, and regardless of the score today, our game do or die was Friday against the Czechs, and we'll have to be ready, and we will be ready for the Czechs on Friday.
So on your game against the Team Canada West, you guys started off strong, but tough second, third period. Heading into the next kind of part of the tournament, you guys, what's kind of the feeling in the locker room, I guess?
Well, the feeling is good because we fell 5-on-5 today. We're a good team on the ice. We did the right things. We just have to play 60 minutes. We have to be more disciplined, but in a 60-minute game, 5-on-5, we'll be fine. We just have to play our game.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here in Bonnyville at the World Junior A Challenge, but let's head back into the studio and see what's going on there.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Sitting at -4 here in the Border City currently. Gorgeous day out there throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine and the snow was melting. Nowhere near that low record, though, of -37. We super close to that record of the high there back at 5 degrees, though. Very nice conditions, and they are sticking around. Satellite radar showing a couple patches of precipitation out to the west. Areas like Bonnyville could see some of that, in Cold Lake, rather, some flurry action tonight, possibly carrying on into the morning, but nothing major, and there are no watches and warnings currently in our area right now. Numbers doing really nice as well. -4 here in the Border City. Could get a couple strong wind gusts up to 50 overnight and possibly into the morning, which could make it feel a little bit colder than that. -1 in Cold Lake, currently 1 degree in Athabasca, also in Whitecourt. In Edmonton, sitting at 1 degree as well, sitting at -1 in Prince Albert and -1 in Melfort right now. -4 in Saskatoon. North Battleford sitting at -2, partly cloudy, and that's going to dissipate overnight, dropping down to -9. And then tomorrow, high of +1 and plenty of sunshine, couple clouds there. Cold Lake, -1 currently, does have a 30% chance you could see some flurry activity overnight, possibly continuing into the morning. Cold Lake also going to see some of those strong wind gusts, so it's going to feel like -14 in the morning. 1 degree tomorrow, so above the freezing mark. Here in the Border City, dipping down to -9 overnight, going to hit a high of 0 degrees tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine yet again. -9 for the low, 1 degree on Friday, -9 there, and then look at that, 2 degrees on Saturday. Plenty of sunshine with a low of only -1. I'll have more details on this amazing warming trend coming up a little bit later.
Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back. Well, thanks to a recent partnership between the Lloydminster Catholic School Division and the Alberta Ballet, a group of dance students from Holy Rosary were invited to spend a day with the ballet company. For this week's Beyond the Classroom, our Michaela Henschel reports.
I'm here at the Jubilee Auditorium in Edmonton with a group of dancers from Holy Rosary. We've made the trip out here and we're spending the day with the Alberta Ballet as they get ready for their production of the Nutcracker. So we're gonna watch rehearsal, we're gonna watch their dance class, and then we're gonna be able to ask some of the dancers some questions to see what goes into putting on the Nutcracker production. Over 180 rehearsal hours go into putting on the Nutcracker every year. These young dancers got a first-hand look at what a day in the life of a professional dancer looks like.
I think it's really awesome. We get to see a lot of people who have devoted their whole lives to doing ballet.
Watching professionals is always good because then you can always get to see how you should be, and it's just good to watch other people's technique and their performance ability.
And what sets the Nutcracker apart from other productions put on by the Alberta Ballet is the involvement of young dancers throughout the show.
Grade 10 student Grayson White has been prepping for her performance as a soldier alongside the pros who've made this experience a memorable one.
Performing in it is a blast. It's fun to be with, like, to watch the company dancers and to just hang out with them backstage, because they're actually really nice people and like they're great role models for any dancer like me who just wants to do dance for the rest of their life.
And the young dancers also bring a little something to the stage.
But every night you have some young dancer who is just absolutely so excited to be there that it just brings you up, and it's just that kind of sense of you remember what it's like to be young and be experiencing a stage craft for the first time.
Watching the company dancers and being able to ask the artistic team questions about the industry left these dancers hopeful that one day they could be in their shoes.
It was cool to see shorter dancers because lots of times you only see lots of tall people, and so you're like, oh, well, that's only for tall people. So it was good to see that too.
I really enjoyed seeing that they do some of the same exercises that we do in our dance class, which is kind of cool.
Michaela Henschel, Primetime Local News.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Apply to the hairstyling program and take the lead working with clients in the on-campus salon. Lakeland College, leading learning since 1913.
Welcome back. Well, to keep going when all is bleak around you is a character trait that is difficult to maintain. Gerard Lampo meets a motivational speaker who brings the energy to the room.
On a campground in Kitchener-Waterloo in Ontario.
Author Stuart Knight is encouraging young farmers to stick with it, especially in times of crisis.
It's so important for people who have any type of goal in life to be willing to cheer themselves on as opposed to waiting for everyone else around them to be the cheerleader for them. Because if you're going to wait for other people to be your big cheerleader, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. And the one person you can always rely on is you. You're there every day. So if you cheer yourself on, you can cheer yourself on to do great things.
Knight, who is based in Toronto, shares with the young farmers at FCC Ignite as he applies his motivation on the farm.
You face the biggest challenges with weather. Let's say it doesn't go the way you hoped it would go, or you find yourself having challenges with money. I mean, it takes a lot of money and you're investing a lot of it into that farm. Sometimes you don't get the loans you want, or maybe it's a case where you have a bunch of workers who leave and they go to another job. You're consistently being hit with negative things when you are a farmer. It's a tough job to have. So you need to cheer yourself on those tough days, because if you don't, then you're never going to be able to survive.
Surviving and thriving in a hostile climate is key to farming. Rural areas are being supported by social media as farmers are networking and supporting each other.
Farmers can easily find themselves thinking that because they live in small communities that maybe that they're disassociated with the world of social media, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter, and yet farming is changing so much in so many ways, and I believe that social media is going to play a role in farming.
Knight was 28 when he found himself in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. If that happened on the farm, it could very well spell the end.
To dig yourself out of that feels like a most monumental task in the moment. But when you look back, you realize that there were very specific things that you had to do in order to overcome that enormous challenge.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
That's your egg news. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Taking a look at your local sports now, changes are continuing for the Lloydminster Bobcats as they announced the hiring of 7 new scouts. Nevin Dubé, Graham Clausen, Stephen Kurtzinger, Kelly Smith, Carlin LeBlanche, Jeff Jetson, and Tyler Shipstad will help find new talents in the future seasons for the cast.
Being our director of player personnel, he knew a couple of them very well, and then through some of the trusted coaches in the midget ranks. I knew I came about a couple more of them. And then the other ones I've had connections with through hockey and through working with in previous experiences to bring them on board with us.
Dubé says this will continue to help in improving the team's culture long term.
Part of coming in here was to make change in how we did things and how things were done in the past. So bring in the players that we're looking to bring in for the future here and the people we are as well.
The Bobcats have their next test this Friday against the Calgary Canucks. And now we're going to send it back to Brett Holden, who is live in Bonnyville.
We are here now. Team Canada West is just playing some sewer ball, getting ready for their big game against Russia tonight. And I'm joined now by Rob Hunter, one of the co-chairs of the World Junior A Challenge. Now, Rob, this is the second year out of 3 years for the World Junior A Challenge here in Bonnyville. Let's talk about the organization of getting an event here.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of work, months and months of planning. A great job by our host committee. Co-chair Neil Langridge has been sensational to work with, and the rest of the host committee has done very well. And now with it, the event is here for the second time in 3 years. We're awfully excited to have it. And you see all the red jackets around the community, the hundreds of volunteers that we have that are helping put this event on. It's been sensational so far, and we're looking forward to more big crowds and building into a gold medal game on Sunday where we don't know who the opposition will be, but we do know there's a guaranteed 50 jackpot of $10,000, and we're expecting a full house here at the RJ Lalonde Arena.
Absolutely, and coming up later tonight, this will be Game 7 of this year's competition. How's it been so far?
Yeah, so far it's been great. Crowds have been good. 50-50s have been high. People have been having a lot of fun. There's some good Team Canada merchandise that arrived today that's for sale now. And Team Canada West has been playing awfully well. A great game against the Americans to start the tournament for them. And really looking forward to this one here tonight as the Russians and Team Canada West come together as two teams undefeated so far in the tournament. And the level of hockey being played is absolutely sensational. To think about top 5 NHL draft picks that'll be coming up this year is great to see the caliber of hockey being played and the excitement in the crowd and the big 50-50, the $10,000 coming up on Sunday for the gold medal game. We're certainly excited about it here.
So we've been almost been pegged a couple times here by the boys just behind us here. Puck drop here will be 7 o'clock between Team Canada West and Team Russia. We'll have a little bit more coming up from Bonnyville for the World Junior A Challenge, but let's head to Michaela, who has a look at your weather.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brett. Very cool tournament happening down there. Awesome to see. Look at this photo. We had a gorgeous day, plenty of sunshine and a warm-up, which has been nice. Sitting at -4, it feels a little bit cooler than that once you factor in the wind. We could see some strong gusts of wind this evening into the overnight, up to 50 km. So could feel a little chilly out there. -2 in Vermilion, -4 currently in Marwayne, -3 in St. Paul, 1 degree in Edmonton, so still above the freezing mark there. -1 in Bonnyville, also in Cold Lake and Pearson, 0 degrees up in Lac La Biche. Areas in around Bonnyville and Cold Lake could possibly see some flurry activity, 30% chance that could come into effect tonight, possibly carrying on into the morning. Nothing major, just a couple of flurries. -3 for St. Walburg, -2 in Meadow Lake, -2 in Maidstone, and currently sitting at -2 in North Battleford. As we look up north, sitting at -2 in La Ronge, -1 in Buffalo Narrows, -1 in La Loche. So they're also seeing that warming trend that we are seeing a little bit south there. 1 degree currently in Slave Lake, -1 in Grand Prairie, and 0 degrees currently in Peace River. Now, as we look south, numbers pretty much the same as that warming trend continues. So 2 degrees in Lethbridge, -1 in Medicine Hat, 2 degrees there in Calgary, and sitting at -3 in Swift Current, and currently at -1 in Regina. Numbers tomorrow going to be even warmer. Look at this, 0 degrees as our daytime high in the border city, 0 in Maidstone tomorrow, 1 degree in North Battleford tomorrow, so above that freezing mark. Same in Vermilion, 1 degree there. Provo sitting there, 0 degrees for Marwayne, and then 1 degree as we move up north. Pearson, Cold Lake, Bonnyville, St. Paul, all going to see 1 degree as the daytime high tomorrow, and then 2 degrees in Lac La Biche. Going to be a relatively warm start to the day, -5 over at 8 a.m. Cloud cover, but that is going to dissipate throughout the day. -3 over recess, 0 degrees over the lunch hour, and then 0 again when the kids head home from school. Look at this trend, though. We are going to see some nice numbers. 0 degrees tomorrow, -9 for the low. Averages are -9 for the daytime high. So we're sitting there in our lows, which is great to see as that warming trend continues, and it could be continuing possibly into the holiday weeks there, which is going to be nice. 1 degree on Friday, -9 for the low, 2 degrees on Saturday. Some models are even showing up to 4 degrees, -1 for the low. Sunday, we're going to get a little bit cooler, -9, -15 for the low, and then we warm back up as of Monday. So -1 on Monday, a little bit cloudier. We have a 20% chance we could see some flurry activity, -10 there, and then plenty of sunshine on Tuesday as that warming continues. -1 there, -6, and then a Wednesday we finish off our 7-day forecast with a nice 0 and -5 for the daytime low.
And now we're going to send it back to Brett Holden, who is live in Bonnyville.
I'm joined now by Evan Nickel, one of the volunteers here. And Evan, this is your second year as a volunteer. Let's talk about why you come out and volunteer here.
I'm retired now, so it gives me something to do and come out and help the people. That's mostly it, yeah. It's fun.
When it comes to the hockey as well, are you a big hockey fan too?
I am, yes.
Who's your favorite team?
Oilers.
The Oilers, that's a good pick. So when you see just these young kids coming in and top-notch hockey, what does that mean for you and kind of the community as well?
Well, the players are just dynamite, and they come from the other side of the world, and the games are phenomenal for the most part. And yeah, it's just good for the young kids around to see them playing and aspire to something.
We were talking a little bit as well, just kind of about how, like you said, this is your second year and that you're retired, but for you, when you see just kind of the fans coming out and all the volunteer support, what does that say to you?
Well, it's just community. They care, and we got a top-notch volunteer group here that, yeah, we work well together.
So when it comes also to the Pontiacs as well, you have that kind of the AJHL here, and like you mentioned, just the wonderful talent. When you see those guys and also the team coming out to see some of the games, what goes through your head?
Well, I know that they appreciate good hockey too, and you always want to better yourself, and the next level up from the Bonnyville Pontiacs are these world-class players. And for them to see and just how they play well together, that's great.
Perfect. And let's talk about really quickly your expectations for tonight's game, 7th game between Canada West and Team Russia.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be really good. Both exceptional teams. It might be a preview of the gold medal game, but don't want to judge too much.
Perfect. Hopefully, we'll see if this is the gold medal game. Just a little bit of a preview. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here in Bonnyville for the World Junior A Challenge. But let's head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your social media trends.
Well, many Albertans are in the middle of an oil crisis right now as the province is dealing with super low oil prices. That was our question of the day. How do you feel about Rachel Notley's decision to build a new refinery in the midst of the oil crisis? Want to read a couple of the comments we got. Linda says, I'd like to see oil companies themselves taking on these projects instead of the government making it a government issue. Kurt goes on to say she has no intentions. They are words of a very desperate NDP government. And Judy says it's just more lies. Hopefully people realize that this is a disaster and she needs the boot. So people not impressed. I think they're not really believing the government, and obviously a lot of people are saying this might be an election tactic as we enter a political election next year. So
yeah, for sure. I can just see, I think the majority of people are saying like they're not buying it. Like it's just, it's words, and I think people are just a little bit too pissed off to even deal with that, so I don't know.
Yeah, we did get another message on our Facebook saying nobody will get a new refinery built, not even the UCP if elected. The approval process has been a nightmare for years. No private company is going to go through that. So very interesting topic. You still have time to weigh in on our question of the day. Let us know what your thoughts on the subject are. Just before we get to our pets of the day, just want to mention that Elise and I will not be here tomorrow. We will, excuse me, be locked up at the SPCA for 12 hours. So come say hi, come and donate. Maybe bring a coffee or a tea. There you go. Yeah, we'd love to see you. So that's where we will be tomorrow for the jail and bail. So if you can, please donate to our local SPCA. But right now we're going to get into our pets of the day. Let's see who we have. This is Jasper. Very cute
so
photo.
sweet.
That was submitted to us by Michelle. Thank you for sending that in. This is Cassidon, the Christmas cat. That was sent to us by Chantel. Very cute. Looks like a little kitten there. Next up, we have Lily.
Lily's so
Lily
cute.
is very cute. Look at those big eyes. That was sent to us by Terry. Next up, we have Stella.
Snoozing.
A little bit of an overbite there. Super cute. That was sent to us by Melanie. And then look, Carol brought this. She came into the station today, dropped this off in person. This is her cat, Sunny. And it was so nice to meet you, Carol. Very cute cat. If you have a pet, or if you have a cat or a dog or a calf, I suppose, that you would like to see here on the show, send us a photo. Please include their name, and if you are chosen to be on the show, you'll be entered to win a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
We are joined by Deanna Amos today as we are talking about farm succession planning. And Deanna, first thing I want to ask you is, what is your official title?
Sure. So my title is an investment advisor with Credential Securities, as well as an insurance representative with Credential Financial Strategies, Inc.
Okay, now let's talk about farm succession, and it's been a huge topic in the news lately.
Yeah.
Why is it important?
Yeah, farm succession planning is important because it's estimated that 3 out of 4 Canadian farms is expected to change hands in the next 10 years, so mainly to the next generation. It's also important because the age of farm managers is getting older. So the average age of a farm manager is age 55, and that age group is growing the fastest.
So what exactly is succession planning?
Sure. So succession planning is also known as transition planning or farm continuity planning. It's planning for the transfer of skills, labor, management, control, and ownership of the farm business from one generation to the next. It really happens over time with a good plan, or unfortunately it can happen very suddenly with death. So it's important for the farm families to start having that conversation sooner than later.
So who would be involved then in the planning?
Sure. So the farm family, of course, would be involved in the planning, so the transferor, as well as the successor, and any non-farming children. You would also involve a certified financial planner with an ag background, such as myself, as well as an accountant and lawyer to start having those discussions. The farm family and those professionals would discuss the business valuation, so what's the value of the farm, as well as retirement planning for the transferor, and the overall tax consequences of the various strategies.
Now, it all sounds kind of complicated. I know a lot of people who have farms are just really focused on their jobs. So where do they start with all of this? How do you take that first step?
Yeah, the first thing they need to do is, I guess, start having those conversations with their family. So they would engage their professionals that would help start that family conversation. So to have an understanding of what the family's vision is for the farm. So is it a farm operation that they expect to continue through many generations, or are they quite content to have the farm cease after the founder is done running the business?
Tough conversation, but an important one to have for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, and we'll be back next hour to continue talking about succession planning.
Great. Thank you.
Hey Lakeland, Justin Marshall from Cool 101.3 with a look at what's happening around the Lakeland and area. Well, this coming Saturday here at Cold Lake Imperial Place, we're hosting Operation Hockey Heroes, and one of the organizers, Forrest Rock, joining me now. What is Operation Hockey Heroes if people don't know what it is?
Yeah, so 2018 marks the 100-year anniversary of 401 Tactical Fighter Squadron, and we have a history of giving back to the community and being engaged. And this year, being the 100th year, we wanted to do something big. So we came up with this idea of having a community charity celebrity hockey game called Operation Hockey Heroes.
It's really cool. Haley Wickenheiser actually coming, a bunch of the Oilers alumni. Who are some of the beneficiaries from this project?
That's a great question. So for the last 8 months or so, we've been engaging our sponsors and raising money throughout the community. So that we can make a net contribution donation to the Royal Canadian Legion Poppy Fund, so the money will go directly to support Canadian veterans and their families. And then of course we wanted to maximize community engagement and community involvement in the event, so instead of charging an admission fee for the game, entrance is simply a donation to the Cold Lake Food Bank. So if you have a family of 4, I ask that you just please bring 4 items to donate to the food bank as a minimum. And during the game we'll also have sort of a collection box at the front, so if you want to make a monetary donation as well, you can do it that way.
Is there a lot of buzz around the community? Because, I mean, we definitely want to fill these seats in behind us.
Absolutely. So I heard there's 1,700 seats inside the Energy Center, and you can fit about 1,800 or 1,900 people in here, and the idea is to fill this thing. So that's sort of my challenge back to Cold Lake, is to make sure that next Saturday you mark your calendars and you come out to watch Operation Hockey Heroes. It's an opportunity to give back to the community, help our veterans, help those in need, and watch a great hockey game with some great hockey players.
Starts at 10:15, guys. Come on out. If you have an event you would like to feature on what's happening, please email Justin at 1013coolfm.com.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
The holiday season is in full swing, so here with some decorating tips for our trending panel today is Kala and Tasha from the owners of Olive and Birch here in Lloydminster. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a beautiful display. So this is tablescaping. Yes. This is a new word for me. So basically it's just decorating your table when everyone's down to eat. So why is it important to decorate the table?
Thanks for having us again, Michaela. We wanted to bring our holiday tablescape just to show that really in everyone's home, the kitchen and the dinner table is the heart of the home. That's where a lot of people spend their time, whether they're cooking in the kitchen, playing family games, entertaining. You spend a lot of time at the kitchen table. So we wanted to show you how you could incorporate just some with your everyday dinnerware, like we're showing our Sophie Conran, how you could just nicely add some greenery and some little things to make that tablescape just a beautiful place in your home. So it's a focal point in a lot of homes. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's start off with the centerpiece. So is that something you want to start with and then build from? And what do you guys have here for your centerpiece?
Right. I think it's just an easy place to start is with the centerpiece. So we do have our pom-pom Christmas trees. We've kind of chosen the color scheme of green and gold. We do suggest to stick with one color, especially if you have an open concept house where your living room and Christmas tree are kind of attached to your kitchen area. Gets too confusing if you're adding too many colors. So we've started with the cream and gold pom-pom Christmas trees. So ideally those would be in the center of your table with the 2 gold lanterns on either side, just very simple. If you wanted to add some greenery around that, you could. Even just to have the Christmas garland along the center of your table with some candles. These candles are nice because they are on a timer. They flicker just like real candles.
Yeah, they look very real.
So we like those.
Awesome.
We also like to, as Kala had mentioned, if it's nice to have kind of a neutral dinnerware. We're not telling you to go out and buy all new dinnerware. It's nice to start with a neutral dinnerware and then add your festive touches, such as a little boxwood wreath on the plate. You can even have little greenery pieces that even your guests can possibly take home.
Oh, okay.
Which
That's
is a nice
great
idea.
little gift idea.
Yeah. We have a table runner there as well, so that ideally you could either do across in 2 places or down the center of your table as well if you had a rectangle table. So there's kind of a few different ways to do that. And then of course just adding some other Christmas linens like your napkins, either with a napkin ring or just simply set under your salad plate. Looks nice as well.
Awesome. And you've actually brought in like a scarf, and you're saying you could actually use that and incorporate that kind of as your table runner. So you can use things that you possibly already have, correct?
For sure. So yeah, that's a throw there, but lots of throws actually do duplicate as scarves, throws, tablecloths. So you can easily use that over your whole table. It looks very festive, especially if you're going with a green plaid.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about this garland because you're saying even maybe incorporating this into your lighting fixture, your chandelier, and that'll kind of add, and this isn't your typical Christmas garland. This is kind of a new modern touch to it. So you can actually incorporate this other places as well, right?
Totally. You can, it really looks nice if you have a chandelier above your table to just incorporate some greenery. Even some of these twinkle mini lights just adds that festive touch to your table or to your chandelier. And we're trying to let people know that use what you have in your home, but try to stick with one kind of color scheme, I think is the key idea.
And we're trying to show that you don't have to use the traditional colors of red and white. If you have anything with pink or blush, or there's different hues in your home that you can still incorporate into your Christmas dinner. You don't have to go out and buy a whole new tablescape. So,
yeah. Awesome,
yes.
and it's something you can add to every year as well. Exactly. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for bringing in this display. It's gorgeous. I definitely would like to see this on my Christmas table. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions or if you would like to see any of the products that you saw here, you can always go pay them a visit at Olive and Birch, and then they will be, thank you so much for sharing these holiday tips with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Tickets still available for tonight's game and for the rest of the tournament. Tonight, Team Canada West will play Team Russia in what could be a preview to the World Junior A Championship gold medal game, while tomorrow, two of our frisky felines will be at the SPCA as a part of the Jail and Bell. That will be Michaela Henschel and Elise Darwish. That does it for me here tonight in Bonnyville at the RJ Lalonde Arena. Let's head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your weather.
All right. Apparently we're frisky felines. I love it. Yes, Elise and I will be at the SPCA tomorrow for 12 hours. We're getting locked up inside of a kennel. Here's a look at the website. This is how you can donate online. Either you can do so online, you can call in, or do so in person. Just hit either Elise or my name there, and there's a donate button right underneath there. We're in a competition though, so donate under my name.
No, donate under mine. First time, beginner's luck, right? Get the most donations. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay,
I don't know.
See. But pick me. All right, guys, we'll see you from the SPCA tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.